Alright. We are back in Final Fantasy XIV. I've done some stuff. First things first, there are no more anima relics to do. I finally finished the monk anima relic, which is this one, which actually I don't think is that great. Like, it's fine, I don't really like the big bulky fist weapons personally, and I think I would have preferred it if it was just normal fists with that effect on it, or like just normal gloves with that effect on it. It be what it be. But what that does mean is we have literally done every single anima relic. There is nothing left for us to do when it comes to Heavensward relics. I'm very, very happy about this. Now I am still working on Eureka, but we'll come to that a little bit more later. But you can see that I don't have that many Hydatos crystals. It's because Hydatos crystals are really annoying to get. I've not actually spent that long in Hydatos, but it also tends to be the instance that is the quietest. So it's the hardest to like get parties together for and stuff like that a lot of the time. At least from my personal experience from when I play stuff. Something else that I have done, however, is I've got Gunbreaker up to 80, and I got Dancer up to 70. So I still need to get Dancer and the other DPS classes up to 80. But I also really need to work on my Blue Mage. My Blue Mage has been getting very much so neglected. So I need to level that up. And we need to continue the Blue Mage West line, ideally. But what we're going to start today with is maxing out our relationship with the Kojin, getting the mount, doing all that good stuff. And as you can see, we're getting there with the Ananta and the Namazu. I think, what is it? It's 180 per day times 7 is 1260. So yeah, we will have finished all of the, we'll have maxed out all of the reputations, assuming I don't miss any days, by this time next week, which will be nice. The good news as well is that now that I've gotten Dancer up to 70, there isn't much need in me to do the daily quests as Dancer, because I think that the experience drops off, or is that only for the Crafter and Gatherer ones? I don't know. Let's do this as Samurai. It seems more fitting. After, I was hoping you would visit. Things have not quite been the same since we lost Sakuma, but I've taken his words to heart. My every waking moment has been devoted to seeking treasures for our vault. We've made great progress, but the others insist I take a break, if only for a short while. Rather than sit idle here in Tamamizu, I thought my time would be better spent visiting the good people of Otard who made contributions to the treasure vault. It will be a wonderful trip, made all the better by your company. If you would join me, come to Yangsha. I plan to start by paying a visit to Gyoke. Okay. I think Namai is the best place. I've actually not been in most of the Stormblood zones very much. Like the normal zones, I've mainly been in Eureka. Or just doing dungeons to level Gunbreaker. Okay, and now that we have every tank and every healer up to 80, I'm going to try... I think my focus is going to be on getting Dancer up to 80, but what that probably means... Yeah, I think it is. I think that means that we need to do the Dancer job quests. One second. Sorry, Neff has just messaged me. Okay. But yeah, I want technical step. Because that's another big damage thing, right? For your standard finish. So yeah, I think Dancer might be one of the classes that we do job quests on sooner rather than later, but at the same time I kind of want to do Dancer and Gunbreaker's job quests last, because they're the jobs for the new DLC that we're going into, for the new expansion that we'll be going into with Shadowbringers. My, what a surprise! Trust all's been well since your last visit, yes, yes? Quite well, thank you. Trade with you in Northern Namazu has been a boon. I came today to offer you thanks on behalf of the Blue Kojin. No, I should be thanking you. Once more I can enjoy sunny days and blue skies clear of birds and their unsavory gifts. Yes, life has never been better. Ah, so the curse was lifted as Sakumo predicted. Pity he could not have been with us to hear the good news. Sakumo? Who's that? Sounds more like a flavorful dish than a person. Come now, Gyoke. Surely you remember the talking doll that accompanied me when we first met. What a silly Kojin you are. As if I would forget something so remarkable as that. There was no such thing present when I met the two of you. No. What in the Kami's name is going on? Perhaps the stress of the days affected his memory? I suppose that's possible. It's not uncommon for one's memory to become hazy when thinking back on traumatic experiences. When a foe is truly formidable, even I cannot clearly recall what happened when we exchanged blows. At any rate, it would be unkind to make him relive his meeting with the Red. We won't keep you any longer, Gyoke. Take care, and may the blessings of the Kami be upon you. Farewell, my friends. Next time I'll go to visit you in Tamamizu. Yes. What say we visit Reunion next? Uchikin is likely a master of marksmanship by now. Hey, Uchikin. It's good to see you both. Talk of your prowess is still hot on the lips of every merchant in Reunion. Your father must be proud. Please, there is no need to thank us. No, it is I who should be thanking you. If not for your generosity, we never would have had the means to rescue our dear Sakumu from the Red Kojin. That was about to thank us, yes? Would that Sakumu were here. He was quite adept at interpreting your expressions. Does that mean you don't remember Sakumu? A talking doll no higher than my knee in the likeness of a Kojin? Nobody remembers him. First Gyoke and now these two. Don't know what's going on here, but it can't be good. Perhaps we should go and visit Shihumi. Surely she, of all people, would remember Sakumu. Thank you for your time. We must be leaving. Blessings of the Kami be upon you. Okay, so I've got to go to Kugane now? Yep. Neff and I are trying to plan things because she's going to a music festival tomorrow. It's also a bank holiday this weekend. And so we're trying to see if there's anything that we want to do. And because it's a bank holiday, potentially we need to book some shit. I really should have fast traveled to Pier 1. Let's see. I should make a glam for when I'm... I should also turn that on. I should make a glam for when... so that I can use like the Strider boots and stuff. A gear set, rather. Sorry. She's done the thing where she's waited until I've actually started doing something on the stream to start texting me, because we weren't texting until I started streaming. There is a sixth sense that whenever you start streaming or recording something, that's when everyone wants you. We joke that Neff's best friend has a habit. Well, she had a habit where she was consistently calling Neff on, like, FaceTime whenever we were 5 minutes into watching a movie or a TV show. Like, legitimately, always 5 minutes in, just as we'd gotten settled and were starting to watch the thing, that's when the phone would ring. Good evening, After. Kabuto. What do I owe the pleasure of this visit? I realize this is sudden, but do you recognize the jewel on my helmet? Of course. It was the one I set for you. Thank the Kami. Then you also remember Sukumu, the doll from whence it came? You mean the Karakuri puppet I gave you as a gift for rescuing me? The very same. I remember. It was so old and worn, I was honestly quite surprised you were so taken with it. The way you would clutch it in your arms, and you named it Sukumu. I thought it was quite touching. Though I must say, it was quite peculiar to see the materia produced from a doll. It usually comes from arms or armor after a great deal of use. But you claimed this is what brought Sukumu to life. What? I said no such thing. And not whose spirit gave form to that materia, but I fear fixing it to your helmet has clouded your memory. No. Sukumu was alive, I tell you. He was always there to say what I could not, and he helped me establish relations with a great many people. I'm sorry, Kabuto, I do not question this puppet meant a great deal to you, but if it truly was able to walk or talk, I was not witness to this. Have I gone mad? How can no one remember, after everything we've accomplished? Do you suppose my brothers have forgotten him as well? No one has spoken of Sukumu since the battle on the Isle of Zeki. I'm beginning to suspect it's not to save me grief. Sorry to have troubled you. I only meant to come and give thanks for the puppet and your wonderful work on my helmet. Take care, Shihumi. I pray the Kami guide you to the answers you seek. Let's return to Tamamizu. I would have a word with the elder. Brings the two of you here. By all rights, you should be resting, Kabuto. The question has been weighing on my mind for some time now, and well... There you are! I've assembled the Divine Circle as you asked. What is it you wish to discuss? Thank you all for coming. No one has spoken of him since he was lost to us, but I wish to speak with you all about Sukumu. Sukumu? Ah, do you mean the puppet you enshrined in the treasure vault? So you do remember? I was beginning to fear everyone had forgotten the founder of our fellowship. What are you saying, Kabuto? It was you who formed the Divine Circle. No, it was Sukumu. Why can none of you remember? I didn't think to ask, seeing as you've accompanied me on my travels about Otard, but now I fear I must ask. Tell me, do you remember Sukumu? Of course I remember. What a relief. Thought I was losing my mind. Curious that only the two of you can recall Sukumu as more than a mere doll. But perhaps this is not without reason. I believe the Kami was meant to guide you on a journey of enlightenment, a journey only you were meant to remember. Yet it seems our friend After here possesses a rare gift, one that allows her to recall that which others cannot. You needn't mince words, Elder. You think this all a figment of my imagination, don't you? Not at all. In fact, I had a similar experience, many years ago. At the time, I assumed no one would believe me, so I have kept it to myself all this time. There are myriad Kami in this world, each with their own will, their own purpose. In the end, it would seem this kami was meant not for the Divine Circle, but for you. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't jealous, and what I wouldn't give for such divine guidance. This is not the time for envy, Makura, but praise. The kami saw fit to make Kabuto a fine leader, and the Blue have gained new allies because of it. Truth be told, I can scarce believe how far I've come. Looking back, I see how foolish I was to think protecting my brothers meant having to push them away. Sakumu taught me the bonds we share are worth more than any treasure. Heed well the lessons you have learned here, Kabuto. And I sense the path before you leads to a great many things. Wherever the path may lead, we'll walk it together. That's what Sakumu would have wanted. Our quest for treasure begins anew. For the Blue! Yeah, so it's kind of Fight Clubby. To be fair, I now get more experience from doing these dailies, so maybe it would still be worth doing this on my level 70s. Do I already have these? I don't think I do, right? No, I do have those. What I don't have is Heathen Gesture for Ritual Prayer, Striped Ray Conch, and the Framers thing. There we go. So, Framers Kit, the Conch, and Heathen Gestures. Heathen Gestures is actually a pretty good one. Because you look like... Oh, that's just Uchi Wasote. Ritual... I just like that it gives you a fire effect. And you can... This is a repeating animation, so you can just keep doing it. Okay. Striped Ray is, of course, the mount that we were using for the dailies, so that's nothing new. And the Framers Kit Divine Circle, there it is. So it gives you... I actually quite like that background. So it doesn't have a frame. But I do actually quite like the Divine Circle background. That's not a terrible one. I don't know if that's going to fit into any of the things that I have going on already, but yeah, it's good to have it. But I've not done today's dailies for the Ananta or the Namazu yet, but I'm going to do those off stream because we've got ages until I'm going to actually rank up to them. Well, ages, it's about a week. But what we can go and do is all, well, the rest of Eureka Hydatos' questline. Oh yeah, because I now no longer need to stockpile Tombstones of Poetics, I can actually start spending them on equipment, which isn't massively useful because for most of my classes I already have level 70 equipment because I've leveled other stuff up to 80 or higher. But it is good for some classes, like I've been able to get the augmented weaponry for the Dancer, Samurai, and Red Mage. which will just help me to do a little bit better when I try and level those up some more. Do I need to... I do. Thanks, that's terrible. I'm pretty sure I already have that. Yeah, I do. I have one of those in my glamour dresser. Can you sell that one? No. Okay. I've not had any good drops from Eureka yet. Since last time, by the way. Well, I say that. I've gotten some Aethertite flasks in Hydatos, which means that I now have 5 Logos action loadouts that I can save. That's about it. I was farming for experience earlier today by doing reflect grinding on sprites, which meant that I now have a shit ton of logograms. These ones are actually kind of helpful because I want the plate bearer, because whenever I'm doing stuff solo, that's what I need. I have gotten very, very good at opening these. In case anyone's wondering how, 0 on the numpad. Okay, yeah, I'm not doing the 450 that I have. Yeah. I will open the protective. The Obscure is the one that's specifically Hydatos, yeah, so that's got the highest level stuff in it. I'll open a handful of these, but yeah, to be fair, there's not really anything too amazing in this. I mean, the Protect, Raise, and Asuna are actually, yeah, no, these, you use these to craft some of the higher level stuff, so it's pretty good that we've got them. Yeah, so that gives me a few more plate bearers, which is nice. Because like I say, that does tend to be the thing that I use most often. And having the Guardian, actually that gives me enough of the Guardian to do what I need. Okay. Ideally I would have gotten some dispels, but I didn't. Okay, that's fine. Do I have a skirmisher? No, okay. Well, what I can do is I can craft Spell Shield, which is one of the last things that I need. In fact, I think if I do review Logos... Yeah, boy. There's only 2 Logos actions that I haven't created, and those are Banish, which needs 2 dispels, and Bravery, which I need a Wisdom of the Skirmisher for. Cool. But yeah, let's get this on and talk to Kral. Let me just get... the things that tell me where the fuck to go for quests are. There we go. Everything sorted with Geralt? Excellent. Let us set out at once. Here's what I'd like to say, but I'm afraid I need more time to complete my tasks. Rather than standing idly at camp, though, may I suggest you acquaint yourself with the area outside? I should be able to complete my tasks meanwhile. Okay, so that's the level 51 that we're on now, which means... yeah, okay, I know where we need to go. Apologies for the wait. We now have everything we need to make use of the back door. To be sure, there's still a couple of things that require doing out there. First, let's head to the central columns. It's due south of here, at the Val River source. I'll explain everything once we arrive. Oh, and I should mention that from this point on, I'll be delegating the bulk of my duties to the good scholar. If you ever want for guidance, she's the first person you should seek out. Without further ado, then. Hiya. So yeah, basically, I need to head towards the middle one of those lights that's shining everywhere. It looks like they're trying to spawn one of the enemies. Oh, in fact, is it actually showing me where I need to go? No. Is it? I don't remember it doing that. Wait, did I somehow use and then overwrite my plate bearer? Apparently I did. Okay, yeah, I see Crown. Oh, I think this is just because this is where I accept the next stage, right? Kral ain't doing so good. Once again, I'm reminded of this Isle's dangers. How much of a boon you are for your effort. Without the lessons of our field investigations to draw upon, I don't think I would have made it here in one piece. So, the back door is an ether bridge that conveys you to the tower's entrance, built for those who lack the ability to teleport. It's usable only by those with special permission, and right now it's not usable at all due to the obstruction in the live stream. In order to restore operation, we must repair the 3 sets of columns of the ether bridge. This requires that we seek out spots of pooled ether. That's an Aethernet. And deploy these regulators to restore the flow. I'd be grateful if you could assist with this task. According to my readings of the nearby area, the ether has pooled in 2 locations along the river source, one in the north and another in the south. I'll search in the north if you do likewise in the south. You should have luck looking east on the ether bridge foundation. Oh, something else that I did literally earlier today is I got the Susano Extreme mount. So I now have Lakshmi, Susano, Shinryu, and then I also have one of the ones that we've not actually come across yet. We've not unlocked it. That do indeed be looking like pooled ether. Actually, it kind of looked like what I'd imagine a ghastly would look like in this universe. You deploy the regulator at the spot of pooled ether. It appears to have had an immediate effect. Oh, cool, and then that... Are we going to still be able to see that? Well, there was an NM, but it's dead now. No worries. Oh, to be fair, that's a lot of people in an instance. I wonder if they're going for a BA clear. It must be. Not that I can take part until I've done all of these story missions anyway. But that is going to be the only thing that is left to show off content-wise for Eureka. But I will need to continue working on actually getting the relics all up to stages and stuff. But yeah, so after today, I probably won't stream any more Eureka unless I'm doing just like a chill stream, but that's unlikely. But we might do a standalone stream that is just doing a Baldestian Arsenal run, because it will depend on when there are people running it that I can join with. By my readings, I presume you found and rectified the pooled ether. Excellent. With some minor adjustments, these columns will be in good working order again. This may take a little time though, so sit tight for now. Or go and smite the local wildlife if you prefer. I'd certainly welcome fewer of them snapping at my heels. The adjustments are complete. Let's put our handiwork to the proof, shall we? Yes, everything appears to be in order. Hopefully the remaining 2 sets of columns will prove no more difficult. With that, let's make for the western columns. It's just south and east of unverified research. Right, silent as a mouse, silent as a mouse. Yeah, so it's showing me where Kryl is, but it doesn't show me where the objective is. That's what's going on.
At what point do I unlock Hydatos armor? Or is that once I have 56, all of the logos options? Yeah, it is. You have to have all logos options. Okay. I could buy some logo rounds. To do that, potentially. My the gods! That was close. Literally saw into its gullet. Ugh. Cannot unsee. Ugh. Forgive me. I'm alright now. So it appears there are 2 spots of pooled aether in this area as well. Both are located in the northern reaches of the West Bank. Let's split up and find them. This one I remember where it is. Because I think it's quite easy to die. Trying to get it. To be fair though, there isn't, going back to thinking about elemental armor, there isn't much point in me getting the elemental armor until I've cleared the Baldessian Arsenal a few times. Because the elemental armor +1 usually isn't as good as just item level synced to level 70. It's only once you get it up to the +2 that it's good. Because of the elemental bonus, I think. You deploy the regulator at the spot of pooled ether. Appears to have had an immediate effect. Oh, and thinking of stats, I re-rolled the tuck again and got crit hit and determination. The determination isn't great for a mage, but the critical hit is nice. So yeah, I'm still doing Pyros. I mean, obviously I'm still doing Pyros. I need to do all the other relics still. But I'm doing Pyros to gather light so that I can continue to re-roll the tuck until we get some decent stats. Because the idea is that I'm going to take the tuck to Physios, which is the final stage where it gets a bunch of bonuses and stuff. Specifically in Eureka. And so I'm trying to make it basically the best Eureka weapon that I can, because I need to continue doing loads more stuff in Eureka. Someone apparently needs a raise. Looks like they were doing reflect farming, reflect grinding. I may need to be careful here, because... Ooh! I did die. One of the best sources of crystals. Fuck. I basically just can't turn down these crystals if it's gonna be here. If they decide to actually do BA, which I don't think there's enough people for. Yeah, there's 20 people in the instance, and not all of them are level 60. But if they did try and do BA, we could potentially get the largest amount of crystals that you can get from a single fate is a fate that you can only spawns when there's a group doing the Baldessian Arsenal. And that gives 30 crystals, I believe. Which is, 3 times what you get from the, boss of this region. Which is also the same amount that you get. Apparently... there's no more groups. Okay. I think Ogni mainly does magic damage. So if I get into a tough spot, I can use Spell Shield. Okay, if he does Mega Storm, I want to get inside him. Inside him. Yeah. Dispelling him. Okay, they did dispel. There is no point in inviting me to the party after the fact. What? Like, I appreciate the thought, but my God. No. Okay, so Hydatos is the only region that you can't buy the boss drop material with extra crystals. So I don't know if these guys are going to spawn him, but if they did, I would need to make sure that I go and do that. If they do spawn him, this is where he spawns. Crystal Dragons Blue. I think they said they were working in Ceto. So depending on what order they're going in, they might go and do Provenance Watcher afterwards. There you are. I see you managed to locate the other spot of pooled ether. I'll begin making my adjustments at once. As before, it may take a bit of time. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I've finished with my adjustments. Let's see if they did the trick. Good, no dramas here either. That leaves us with just the eastern columns. As the name suggests, they're located on the eastern bank of the river. Off we go then, and no more harrowing encounters. Oh, they popped Sito. If I remember rightly, this boss can be a bit of a pain because it has a lot of gaze effects going on, and some of them will overlap. Yeah, so each of these snake people will have a gaze effect that can petrify me, and I think it's then that it then does an insta-kill attack if you're petrified. And they'll rotate. Yeah, these are like cobra-headed rather than the Ananta that we know. Hidatos crystals really are such a pain to get that pretty much if there's anything spawned whilst I'm in this instance, I will basically have to do it. Because you need... What is it for the first... The first relic stage is 50? Yeah, first relic stage is 50, then you have 2 more stages that are another 100, so that's 250, and then the last stage needs another 100 and the drops from killing the final boss of the region twice, similar to killing Penny. And then you have the ultimate stage after you've cleared Baldessian Arsenal at least 4 times. Waiting. And off we go. So right now, I want to face away from the main boss. And now, we just need to face away from her 3 ads, which means facing this way. And then the ads rotate, so now we want to look south. they've rotated, so now we want to look east. They've also added another one, which is the Faithless Guard, which we could potentially kill, but there's not much point. Everybody, welcome to literally loads of people died. People always die. Let's see that. Oh, I've apparently tapped on Poetics somehow. Okay, they're working on Provenance Watcher now. Okay, I need to join for this. Not only for the crystals, but for the item that he drops. And I need a total of 75. Which means that I'm gonna have to do this fate 30 times. Because you get 25. Yeah, 25 times. Because you get 3 of the item each time you clear it, and I need a total of 75. But I also need to do Penny the same number of times, assuming that I don't buy any of hers. Because for all of the other ones, I could always just farm other crystals and buy them. Okay. How big of a pull are these guys going to do? This is a really, really scary pull sometimes. Provenance Watcher take a long time to spawn, but hopefully he won't. This is really good if you're a part of a party that's doing this and you're not quite level 60 yet, because these guys give really, really good experience, and because as a group you kill so many of them, this can be one of the easier ways to level up. Not as good as using Reflect a lot of the time though, because you can do Reflect grinding without needing a party. Whereas obviously this method relies on you having a party to carry. But this is generally safer than Reflect farming, because you can quite often fuck up Reflect farming. And if you die, there's not necessarily anyone to res you, which I had that issue earlier today. I died 3 times, I think, and only got res once. It's not a massive issue because you can quite quickly get the experience back from Reflect grinding, but it does mean that you have to spend longer doing the grind, which then gives you more opportunities to get the spacing wrong, and you accidentally aggro too early. Which happened. Well, it happened 3 times.
The next pull I might use a limit break.
Getting some obscure from this is pretty nice.
I just reminded the other party that's with us that limit break is a thing that we can just use. It's very easy to forget about it when you're not in a dungeon. I mean, we kind of are in a dungeon because it's an instance, but like you can even use it in the overworld if you've got a full enough party. You have to have 4 people for a light party, which gives you access to a level 1 limit break. And then you need to have 8 people in a full party to have access to limit break 2. And limit break 3, I think, is only in dungeons when you're fighting bosses. Dungeons, trials, raids. Only when you're fighting the actual boss, though. You can't like do a limit break 3 on an ad pull. Which personally I think would be fun. Just absolutely wrecking. A big old group of like do a wall-to-wall pull. And then limit break 3 to kill them. keep giving me the obscures. Oh, it popped. There he is. Looking like a motherfucking Monster Hunter boss. And honestly, I think he is the easiest out of the like world bosses. Mechanically. There's someone that is halfway through their all Eureka Relic journey. This is when he goes real Monster Hunter and he's transformed and changed his element. And now in order to be safe, you actually just leave his arena. You don't get locked into it like this is a dungeon, so there is literally no reason to not just walk out and be entirely safe. Yeah, this is one of those bosses where it looks like there's a lot going on. Potentially. But in reality, it's really easy to dodge everything. It's a little bit different if you're tanking, obviously, but even as a melee DPS, this isn't that bad. There we go. 1 out of 25. Or 3 out of 75. Whichever way you want to look at that.
Okay, they're going to continue spawning stuff, which is fine. But I'm going to go and do some more quests. If they do spawn it, I will join in though, because again, I need the fucking crystals. I'm about a quarter, almost, of the way through the Red Mage Relic. After all this sneaking about, I've gotten somewhat used to it. Still, I'm a long way off strolling around this island as if it were a flower garden like you do. But on to business. Again, we have 2 spots of pooled ether to account for. One's due east of here, while the other appears to lie at the northern edge of the riverbank area. I'll head east if you wouldn't mind taking your search north. See you back here afterwards. Oh god. They're kind of getting fucked up. Is this the last one that's dead? Yep. Okay. Yeah, they're trying to spawn the NM that's down there. And clearly got bought out. Where is it? I'm actually going. It's just north of the little geyser. Okay. So yeah, like, there it is. I didn't mean geyser, I meant spring. There we go. You deploy the regulator, yada yada yada. So after this, we've got the level 60 quests. Which we can do the first lot of, which unlocks the Baldessian Arsenal. But then there's another quest that you can't do until you've cleared the Baldessian Arsenal. Someone just did a limit break? Yep, they just did the limit break. Okay. The regulator is in place. Excellent. As before, I need to carry out some adjustments. Pray, bear with me a while. Apologies for making you wait repeatedly. I'm pleased to say I've completed my adjustments, and with even greater care than usual. Don't even need to try and know what this will work. Know that this will work. So I think the earliest that I might be able to do a Baldessian Arsenal clear is tomorrow evening. So, depending on how things are going with stream tomorrow, because we'll be streaming Cyberpunk, I might stop Cyberpunk and do a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV toward the end of the day. See? What did I tell you? With all 3 sets of columns thus repaired, the 8th bridge should be operational again. At long last, we may enter the tower. We've taken the liberty of granting you permission to use the bridge, so we may make the crossing at any time. Come, let us make our way hither. This is it, After. The path to the tower lies wide open. Within, we are likely to encounter both Edgeka and Eureka's avatar. It won't allow us to simply walk in and restore the ward. That's precisely what we must do. After all our toils to reach this place, we cannot stop now. Let us go. Can I go whilst I'm in the party? Yes. We are finally inside the headquarters of the students of Baldessian. I've been pondering the cube. Eureka. Well, I don't think any of us expected it to be right by the entrance. I know for a fact it wasn't here before. One can only assume it was moved from its hiding place. At any rate, this saves us the trouble of a search, so I shan't complain. Now, as much as I'd like to restore the ward at once, that restraint will interfere with its effects. It's a safety measure that prevents Eureka from escaping. but by the same token, it prevents us from acting against it. I'll wager that Edgecur is searching for a way to deactivate the restraint and release Eureka, which means that we must find it first. Grandfather's office adjoins this hall. If there's any information to be had, I dare say it'll be there. Oh. It popped. Okay. Because Luke is another 8 crystals. It's not great, but nothing is. Given that unless someone's doing Valdesian, the highest I can get from a single fate is 10. So you need to kill at least 35 NMs in order to get all of the crystals that you need for one relic. Unless you do the support fate for Valdesianos, in which case you only need to do, well, you need to do 2 less each time that you do that fate. Good news with being in the party is it shouldn't matter that I'm only just getting in. Credit for the work they've done. Hell yeah! So they're going to go and do the next fate, which I think is the last one that's not on cooldown for this instance. So is Alchemy going to spawn? Again? Maybe. Yeah, this is one of the issues with Hydathos as well, is that because there aren't many night-specific monsters or there's nothing that is weather specific, I think. Right? I'm not getting my wires crossed there. I'm pretty sure there's no weather specific spawns, and there's only one nighttime spawn. Yeah. So you can very quickly spawn everything and then have like an hour to an hour and a half where everything is dead. And there's just nothing that you can do in that instant. Unless Ovni spawns, which I think he spawns once every half hour? So long as there's enough people. occurs approximately every 20 to 30 minutes. But it also doesn't spawn if the instance has closed. I don't think this is closed. No, that person's literally just joined, so it's not closed. Numerous tomes are scattered haphazardly upon the table. None of them appear related. Apart from the mess, it's pretty much as it was. I can almost see Grandfather sitting at his desk. Wonder if Ejika had been here. If Ejika had been here, he's long gone. What could that boy possibly be up to? Well, never mind him now. Come, help me look for information on the restraint. Hidden beneath the pile of tomes, you discover a single sheet of parchment. Galuf Baldessian's memo. I, Galuf Baldessian, hereby commit these words to parchment, in the event that the unthinkable should come to pass. You, who are reading this, will now be aware of the existence of the icon Eureka and its ability to forge dangerous weapons. You may not know, however, is that said ability is not limited to simply implements of war. Nay, Eureka is capable of creating any and all things. And the implications of this, imagine, if you will, that he who is Eureka's master commands it to create a new mother crystal. The icon would attempt to do so, we believe, even if it meant draining the land of all its ether. Such a reforging of the world would entail destruction of a scale to rival any calamity. This is the true danger of Eureka. For long years, we kept the being's location a closely guarded secret. In spite of our best efforts, it was eventually discovered by the Asians. Lest Eureka be used to a calamitous end, my comrades and I resorted to drastic measures. Having given the order to evacuate, we invoked powerful magic to drown the entire island within the livestream. Thence we combined our strength to defeat the Asian known as Emeraloth, consigning her essence to be scattered within that raging torrent of ether, never again to reform. And now we await our own end. Even as I write, the Isle of Val drifts in the lifestream. Ere long it will become as one with the flow, as will all that remains within. However, that these words have survived means that, unlikely though it is, the Isle has somehow re-emerged in the corporeal realm. It means that Eureka remains a grave threat. You who have found my message, to you I make the most urgent of entreaties. Seek out the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and alert them to these events. See that Eureka is sealed away and guard it from those who use its power for ill. The fate of the very star depends upon it. It is believed that a weapon forged by Eureka takes control of its wielder by usurping his ether. Eventually, naught can be said to remain of the host. Having thus acquired the means to move, the weapon then begins to act autonomously, setting forth to fulfill its purpose, the wish which impelled its creation. To date, we've discovered 5 such arms and sealed them away. There's no telling how many more exist. For now, we can but continue our investigation. Uh, 30 crystals each piece. Despite our best efforts, we are unable to find any literature allowing us to trace Eureka's creation back to a definitive legend. Our brief questioning of its avatar, however, did yield some intriguing details, namely that Eureka, who claims to cast down the wicked, was imprisoned by one who bears the light, a champion of Hyde. How these words may be interpreted is a subject for debate, but taken at face value, they are suggestive of Ascian involvement. Regardless of the truth, we must do our utmost to safeguard the knowledge of the icon. You found something, did you? Excellent. So did I. A wealth of information inside an unassuming tome. Grandfather describes the ward the founders raised, the contrivances they employed to keep Eureka hidden, and most pertinently, instructions on deactivating the restraint. He also writes in detail about Eureka's avatar. Contrary to what we first assumed, the entity appears to be more akin to an instrument. It is Eureka's means of manipulating ether, without which the primal cannot forge its weapons. So long as Eureka itself exists, the instrument can be recreated over and over again, but it would disappear if we sever the etheric connection between them. This we can accomplish by restoring the ward and sealing Eureka away. While it falls short of outright eliminating the primal, it presents an effective way to keep it in check. I wonder, perhaps Educa is... Well, all will come to light in due course. That's all from me. Let's hear what you've learned. I see, yes. I remember. On that fateful day, Grandfather gave the order for immediate evacuation. But when I attempted to teleport away, the magic failed owing to an unnatural surge in the life stream. So I turned my steps towards Port Surgate to find a boat. I never got there, of course. I was swallowed up by the life stream. Judging by the state of the headquarters, the others too were pulled into that raging torrent. There was no divine intercession for them. I had braced for this. From the beginning, I had resigned myself to being the sole survivor. To now be confronted with the truth. Confound it all! Ah! Right, there'll be time for tears later. We have work to do, and Grandfather would expect us to do it. Come, let us deactivate the restraint. This, according to Grandfather's notes, this little thing is the crux of the restraint. Apparently it shares a history with Eureka, but such details aren't relevant at the moment. What matters is it allows us to release the restraint. Here I go. That did the trick. Let's return to the hall. Of course you would choose this moment to appear. Our enemy standeth before us, bearing light most vile.
Strike her down, my champion. I was waiting for you to lift the restraint, as I knew you would. Edrica, please, come to your senses. Come to my senses? My dear Kral, I never took leave of them. Come, we settle this now. The task that Master Galuf entrusted to us. Adventurer, the blessing of light shields you from the Primal's influence. Take the sword and strike down the Avatar. Shiny. Thou wouldst betray me, wicked mortal. Wicked, you say? Yours is the existence that threatens the world, Primal. My conscience is quite clear. Before making wise retorts to the Primal, perhaps you'd care to explain, well, everything. What is there to explain? I acquired the weapon needed to defeat Eureka's avatar and set up an ambush. Isn't it obvious? I thought that you'd be able to deduce my plan of winning the enemy's confidence, but it seems I overestimated you. That's our Edrica. All's well that ends well. Aren't we celebrating a little early? Yes, our Edrica indeed. My apologies, I'll restore the ward at once. No, Kral, that's not what we need to do. I'm against sealing it. If it's possible to slay Eureka, that is what we must do. In the absence of an avatar, its master might command it to forge more weapons than the ether it harbours. This is true. And without the means to replenish its ether, it will eventually consume itself. This will not work, my friends. Surely you see the flaw in this method. What? The Master and Icon are one and the same? That our ether would be Eureka's ether? Aye, we know this, but we've got a responsibility. As those who unearthed the being, if my life can set things to rights, gladly would I render it up. Yet therein lies the problem. Eureka harbours tremendous ether, far more than the four of us combined. We would all perish long before we succeed. Well, my friends, it seems we have no choice at all. Let me guess. You had another vision? Oh, very timely. And now you know what I seek to do. Now, wait here. What exactly are you planning to do? How many times must you make me state the obvious? Master Galuf conceived of a way to destroy Eureka. And I mean to carry it out. Out of the question! If the four founders together couldn't do this, then what makes you think you alone can? Eureka expended vast amounts of ether to bring the Isle of Val out of the lifestream. Even counting for what it's since recovered, my ether alone should more than suffice. If that's the case, then I should be the one to do it. It's my solemn responsibility as the sole survivor of the destruction. Protected by your blessing as you are, Eureka will not recognize you as its master. Only I can do this. Having read Master Galuf's memo, you should know the danger the Primal poses. We cannot risk it falling into Ascian hands again. Destroying it now is the ideal solution. There's nothing ideal about a solution that requires you to sacrifice yourself. Besides, I didn't think a self-centered fellow like you would aspire to martyrdom. Such puerile provocation ill becomes you, Kryl. No matter what you say, you cannot deny the truth. Sealing Eureka away would only be a temporary measure. Nay, we must destroy it, here and now. If Master Galuf believed it possible, he himself would have done the deed. And it is possible now. I have already made my peace. Let me do what must be done. What you seek to do, there's no undoing. It's suicide, plain and simple. And as your comrade, I cannot allow it. With Emereloth vanquished, there's no immediate danger. While Eureka is contained, we can search for other ways to deal with it. Your assertions are all too easily refuted. It is plain you've already made up your mind on the matter. The best thing to do here is to defer to a third party. Adventurer. Without you, we couldn't have gotten this far. You have as much say as any of us on how we should proceed. Very well. I trust After's judgment. Whatever be her decision, I will accept it. There you have it. To defeat Eureka here and now, or to restore the ward and delay the inevitable. Make your choice, adventurer. The story will unfold differently depending on whose approach you choose to support. Once you begin upon one path, the other will no longer be available to you. Please note, however, your choice will not affect the rewards or challenges. Okay, they popped the last one as well. Okay, so I could do Edgica or I could do Kryl. I don't actually... I don't remember which one is better. I forget which one I did. I want to side with Kryl because it does make sense. If we can get Eureka stable again. Like, Eureka wasn't an immediate threat for decades. And it was pretty much only because of the interference of the Ascians that it became an immediate threat again. So we could take the time to come up with a better plan.
But at the same time, that could just provide another opportunity for the Asians to fuck with us. And as much as I don't like Educa, I also don't particularly want anyone to die. So let's go with Crown. Admittedly, sealing Eureka away does not end it. We shouldn't rush our decision as Educa seems to believe we must. Once the ward is operational again, we'll have ample time to consider the best course of action. Surely you'll agree with me? As Master Galuf had intended, we destroy Eureka once and for all. It is the only true solution. You of all people should understand the danger the Primal poses. You know what must be done. I am prepared for the cost. You needn't burden your conscience with it. Yeah, let's make it so that no one has to die, hopefully. Thank you, After. I knew we'd be on the same page. So, Educa, that's 2 against 1 in favor of restoring the ward. Lost your nerve, have you? I would try and impress upon you the danger of this course, but I'd only be wasting my breath. If it's to be the ward, then so be it. I'll cooperate with you. Be thankful. I am thankful, truly I am. If you were to lend us your keen mind, I'm confident we'll find a true solution. Without further ado then, I'll reactivate the ward. Well, that looked like it worked. Tis done. Eureka lies sealed again. I'd sooner see it destroyed, as you know. It's at least a step in the right direction. What next? We have much and more to discuss. Shall we return to camp for the time being? We'll go on ahead. See you anon. What's up, Educa? Troubles of this isle are our responsibility. Trials and mine. We shouldn't depend on an outsider such as you to solve them. Yet I'd be lying if I said that we weren't glad for your assistance. For all of your labours on our behalf, I give you my thanks. Allow me to thank you as well. Without you to blaze a trail for us, we couldn't have possibly arrived at a solution. Oh, hey guys. My friends. Heartened to see you hale and whole. By this, may I assume that business is indeed concluded here? We've read the report. Tell us what happened. Thus did we succeed in restoring the ward and sealing away Eureka within the tower. Ah, it appears the expedition proved to be rather more perilous than we first reckoned. But you are evidently the best people for the task. So you took care of your own business. Good for you. What I really want to know is whether the house stands to gain. Oh, I was under the impression that you'd already gained quite considerably through Geralt's weapons and contrivances. Not to say that our own company isn't interested in profit. Might we discuss the matter of our access to Eureka? Begging your pardons, the Isle of Val? This indeed being the Isle of Val, we assert claim over it in the name of the students of Baldesion. Let us negotiate a deal. A deal? We will lease to you a tract of land upon which you may establish a port and carry out your activities. In return, we ask that your two concerns provide support to the scholars who will summon here. Though we've succeeded in sealing away Eureka, much remains to be done. For one, we intend to find a way to destroy the Primal outright. Given the distance from the Garlean motherland, however, it's a challenge to procure provisions. Thus, we would turn to you in order to continue our work. You've got yourself a deal. There's still profit to be milked out of this isle, and the more residents, the merrier. We will need to draw up the details of the agreement, of course, but I see no reason why we would reject your proposal. From here on, I shall speak for the students. You and Kral will be leaving the isle. What are you saying, Educa? I'm saying that I'll tend to the affairs of Val henceforth. Blessed with your powers as you are, you're needed elsewhere. Educa has matters well in hand. As he says, we have our duties as scions. So, let us be on our way. Of course, dealing with the primal threat is part of our stated mission, and we will continue searching for a permanent way to defeat Eureka. Take good care of this place, alright? Goes without saying. Do we trust Educa to not still try? If we're leaving. Eureka complete. Kind of. So that is the story quests of Eureka complete, but there is still the Baldesion Arsenal. Which is like the ultimate piece of Eureka content that we have to do. Which we unlock by speaking to you, I believe. Mistress After, precisely the adventurer I wish to see. There's a matter I'd discuss with you. In the course of his investigations, Master Educa made an unsettling discovery. When the Founders unearthed Eureka, it had by then forged a fearsome arsenal of weapons. The Founders made it their mission to locate these arms, which they sealed away in the headquarters upper level, a place dubbed the Baldesion Arsenal. For years, the weapons lay dormant, but the recent disturbances on the Isle may have caused them to awaken, to become sentient. If left unchecked, it is only a matter of time before they take Atlas wielders as their vessels, thereby giving rise to new primals. In order to prevent such an outcome, we mean to dispatch a party to destroy the weapons. Now, according to Master Educa's report, an arcane ward prevents access to the Baldesion Arsenal. However, by exploiting an anomaly in the life stream, which occurs under certain weather conditions, it is possible to teleport inside. And here's where you come in. We need you to undertake forays to destroy Eureka's weapons. Having accomplished all that you have on the Isle,
we believe you best suited for this mission. Warning! The Baldessian Arsenal is an unimaginably punishing duty. Even the entry conditions alone will not be easily fulfilled. An emerging triumphant will require teamwork, tenacity, time, knowledge, courage, strength, and not at the least of all, luck. Have you read and understood? Do you acknowledge the extreme difficulty of the Baldessian Arsenal? You now have access. Details such as entry conditions and unique challenges which can be had by speaking with the expedition scholar. It is recommended that you first gain a full understanding of what awaits before venturing forth. And there's an NM. Whee! How many crystals does this one give? Yep. Oh well, this would put me at 99 crystals. I'm hoping that by next week I can get enough Hydatos crystals to complete the relic. But we'll have to see. Because like I said, Hydatos is one of those that is usually quite dead, unless it's the weekend. So this is the most active that I have seen Hydatos. Wolf. Yeah, let's dip out. I need to spend some poetics, apparently. Also, let's open these. I don't think there's anything actually good in these other than money items. We've still got enough time that I can do some job quests today. Do I want to do job quests or do I want to... Oh, it's this one, yeah. Or do I want to unlock... raids? I wouldn't be able to unlock and do... Booty shorts. I wouldn't be able to unlock and do the full Alliance raid or normal raid tiers. I could probably do, what is it, Delta Scape? Is that the first level for the normal raids?
I could probably do all of those. But it's the story that would take a while. It's probably better to save that. Ideally, either I would be a higher level, like level 100, or we would have someone to help to run through those. Like we had Drakeling run us through. Wait, no, did Drakeling run us through both Alexander and Bahamut? I forget. I don't remember. My memory's a piece of shit. Okay, what do I still need? I need some offensive. Hopefully, I only need one wisdom of the skirmisher, so hopefully I get lucky with that. And then I need some intimate. Okay. This is so that I can hopefully craft those last 2 Logos actions that I need. Because then we could craft the elemental armor plus. Well, we'd only be able to get +1, because +2 requires us to have cleared Baldessianos. Come on, skirmisher. There's one. There's a few. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. No. There's quite a few there. Okay, and we got enough dispels too. Okay, so I need how many dispels? I only need 2. Cool. And wisdom of the skirmisher. I got 10. Nice. So I need a wisdom skirmisher, wisdom ordained, and wisdom guardian. That makes bravery. Cool. And then I need ordained, dispel. There we go. And that gives us banish. That's all 56 Logos actions. Ah, how good to see you again, madam. You'll be happy to know that your keen interest in the Logos Manipulator has inspired Master Geralt to further investigate the potential of mnemonic transference. In fact, the last time I spoke with him, he appeared to be teetering on the cusp of yet another breakthrough. Still hanging about, are you? Like a bloody bad smell you can't quite get out your drawers. 7 hours, lass, I'm only teasing. Mayhap my latest discovery will put a smile back on your face, eh? Your efforts bore fruit, then? Aye. I found a way to augment armour using the raw materials here in Idatos. Thing is, though, I've got enough on my plate just dealing with the weaponry. I've added the designs to the artisan over yonder. So if you want to fiddle with pauldrons and whatnot, he's your bloke to see. Gotta say, I do enjoy digging into these new frontiers.
It's a damn sight more interesting than mending kettles. And there you have it. May this new method of armor augmentation serve you as well as the Logos manipulator. So yeah, now I can speak to the artisan, and they could make some stuff better. Oh, okay, so the gloves are 30. The bottoms are 50. What about the chest piece? That's also 50. Ugh. I mean, to be fair, I don't need the chest piece. Oh, I suppose this will show it with the glow effect, though, won't it? Yeah. So you can see what it looks like with the glow effect. Oh, okay, so it's the maiming that has the green, which I'm not a massive fan of, but the fending being yellowy, I actually don't hate. That being said, would I ever use this as a clan? No. That's probably the answer. Yeah, the boots don't look any special. Bottoms, I don't know if that's a glow effect on those. I think it is. Yeah, there's a glow effect on the chain. Not that you would see the chain if I was wearing the chest piece, though. That just looks like shit to me. Anyway, that's another thing that I need to do. So that's what? 110 crystals. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So I need another... That is a one-time thing, though, of 110 crystals. So that's fine. Yeah, I've got some time before I need to finish up, but I don't think it's quite long enough to try and do alliance raids or normal raids because of all the talking that will be there. Like the raids themselves, those will be fine, if we can get into them. Well, for the alliance raids, if we could get into them. But the talking that I'm not done would take too long, I think. It could unlock the castle, or I could just do job quests. So, what have we done job quest wise? We did do Scholar. We did Scholar last time. So, in fact, I can identify by which antiquated pieces we have, right? Okay. So, I still have White Mage and Astro when it comes to healer. I still have Dark Knight and Paladin when it comes to tank.
we did monk. And we've already done red mage. Really play many things once they get up to level 80. So, what about samurai then? What do I get from level 70 samurai? Hisatsu Gurren. Not necessarily that great. Ooh, but Hisatsu Sene. That's pretty good. To be fair, actually, it's only 25% less for all remaining enemies. That's still a potency of 400-ish. 375. Higher than any of my other areas. Okay, yeah, let's do samurai. Let's get samurai done, and then that'll be all of the Stormblood classes job quests done, and it'll also finally give me the samurai armor set in case I want to use any of that for glam. Although I actually really, really like this glam. I think the only thing that I might want to change is the gloves, and instead of them being white bandages, make them like black bandages. I can't do that with the item that I'm using to glamour them. I'd need the Pagos glamour item. It's just like Pagos wrist wraps or hand wraps or something. They're usually on the market board for, I think, about 50k, which actually Pagos field dressing. That is more expensive than I remember. I might need to do more Pagos. Because those are just, they're a glamour item that drops from the lockboxes. It's not that common, but it's not the rarest thing either. So I'm surprised that they've gotten that expensive. Like, even on Universalis, they're like 200k is the cheapest that they're selling for. And I remember them selling for like 60k. I don't need any of this. I don't need any. So I suppose the question is there any stuff that I'd want for glam? Probably not. Unless, what's tank? Tank Skaven. Oh yeah, what's the gunblade look like? I don't hate that. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. If I was doing a tech glam, that's actually quite a good greatsword. I don't hate that greatsword. I think... Do I want to take that one? I like it unfolded. I don't like it folded. Right, I don't need this set for any of my tanks, because they're all level 80, and honestly it doesn't look that great. What does this set look like? Okay. Oh yeah, the katana. I might get that. In fact, I will get that, because that's just nice to have. Big Odachi katana. Honrakai. Don't hate it. I kind of like the shoulder plates, but That spear doesn't look terrible. Oh, I do quite like the way that the Reaper weapon looks. So yeah, let's pick that up, because that's probably actually going to be the best gear. Yeah, it might be worth me getting the Skaven set for my Reaper. Not done any Reaper. Yes, I had lost Ala again. Okay. And yeah, for the most part, that is okay. So aesthetically, not the way that I want it to look, but stats-wise, that's better. So that's good. I do need to level my Reaper, but I don't need to worry about it until we get to the end of Shadowbringers. Although I suppose I could fix my inventory now. I mean, I can do that off screen as well. Okay. But that's what I'll do. I'll kit out Reaper with some Skaven gear, because I don't think that's the level 70. Which is currently being, yeah, never mind. Ignore me. That's level 71, that isn't as good as what I've just got, okay. So I can get out my inventory as well. That's not as good as what's there anyway, so we can take that out. That's not as good as what's in there anyway, so we can take that out. Okay. Okay. Dump some of this stuff. Oh. In. And then we'll go and do the samurai job quests. Depending on how long those take, we might do another class as well. See how I'm feeling. It's the Circlet of Maiming. I don't hate the way it looks. For certain glam, it could be nice. So let's fix it. Where's it gone? Oh, that's because, yeah, inventory. There we go. Sweet. Okay. Nope. Don't waste that. Samurai. And back to Uldar, right? Yeah. Just change. Title, there we go, because we're no longer doing Kyorika. I should really decide when it is that I'm gonna do the Hildebrand questline. I have a feeling that that's probably gonna be in Shadowbringers. Toward the end of Shadowbringers. Because there's no need to have done the questline until Endwalker. Because it's tied to the Endwalker Endwalker relic. But at the same time, it could be good to do all of it up until the end of Stormblood now, because then there's less to do when we come to that, and there might be some interactions with the story. Because I know that does come up. Is there's things like, oh, you have already done this quest line? Oh, then this interaction will acknowledge that slightly, which is a nice thing that I've noticed on this character happening a couple of times. Anyway. A dignified visitor. Oh, I almost forgot to mention. A woman had come calling on Musosai at the inn. Judging by her appearance, she's a compatriot and a samurai. At the time, I couldn't bring myself to break the news to her. But in hindsight, perhaps it's best that it came from you anyway, seeing as you were Musosai's pupil. The visitor is in front of the quicksand. You'll recognize her by her dignified air. Why can I hear fireworks? Is it because of the Moonfire Fair that's going on? I'm just not sure where they're coming from. Oh. Yeah, that'd do it. It must be the fair then. For me to see it from here, because that's outside of the limits of the city. You appear to be a samurai, yet you're not of our land. May I ask who addresses me? Well, that you should be Master Musosai's pupil. Tell me, where might I find him?
at the way of it. Words cannot well express my sorrow. I had the honor of being acquainted with your master in the past. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Makoto of the Sekisagumi. Ours is the peacekeeping force of Kugane, a port city in Hingashi. I journeyed across the seas hoping to meet with Master Musosai, but it seems I must settle for paying my respects. Might I trouble you to show me to his resting place? The Silver Bazaar, you call it. I am in your debt. Let us away, then. The Silver Bazaar is eastern, right? No, western. What am I doing? Much better. Jesus Christ, I forgot how quick we go in Realm Reborn zones. Hey, Makoto. Found some mongrels. Oh, that's something else that we've done that I've not shown yet. Or rather, something that I've done off stream. In fact, let me summon him. Chimkin Tendies is rank 20. And he's a bit burnt. I was trying to get him to be black, but he's come out cobalt brown, so I need to revisit that and try and get him to be black. But yeah. Goth chicken. There's no mistaking your blade work. Indeed, Master Musosai trained you. Forgive me for standing idle as you fought, but I had to make certain that you spoke the truth. Master Musosai seldom took on pupils, you see, but any doubt I have harbored has been utterly dispelled. Now then, let us continue on. Beautiful ocean view. You'll surely be at peace here. As you may know, Master Musosai had one other pupil before you. Ugetsu is his name. He's wanted in Hingashi for the murder of countless dignitaries in the Bakufu, our nation's government. Though his weren't the hands that wielded the blade, Master Musosai created the killer, and in the eyes of the law he was deemed no less responsible. As a samurai, he was expected to commit seppuku in order to atone for the crime, but he refused. As a result, he was branded a craven in Hingashi. But naught could be further from the truth. Master Musosai fled not because he feared death. This I knew in my heart. And beholding your blade work, I now know what it was that he sought to do. He wished to make amends by training a new pupil. Such was the shame he felt. Death was not sufficient atonement. Nay,
The only way he might know peace was to begin anew, with a worthy successor who would bring him honor. Know that Uematsu is no common killer. He is a notorious insurgent who seeks to tear down the status quo. No few samurai sympathize with his cause, and every day more rally to his banner. For a time, he remained in hiding, but our operatives report that he's recently resurfaced in Kugane. By all indications, he's poised to strike a heavy blow against the Bakufu. 'Twas for no other purpose but to petition Master Musosai's aid that I journeyed here. Alas, it was not to be. As I came, so too must I return. Alone. My thanks for showing me here. Brief though it was, 'twas an honor to meet you. You took her to see Musosai. Doubtless he was happy to have a visitor, and one from his homeland besides. So the wayward pupil is up to no good again. It's certainly worrying, but there isn't much outsiders like us can do. We can only hope Makoto and her comrades will triumph over this Uematsu. I'll let you return to your business, but pay me a visit from time to time, would you? It's lonely without the old man around. After. I have a letter for you that arrived at the inn. From Makoto, the Hingan samurai who came all the way here seeking Musosai. Can't imagine what this might be about. Let's find out, shall we? Dear After, I pray this letter finds you well. You received me with kindness when first we met, and I write to you in hopes of depending upon your kindness once more. You'll recall that I told you of Uematsu and his growing faction of insurgents. Upon my return to Kugane, I was dismayed to find his influence has spread to alarming proportions. Outbreaks of violence have become a regularity, and men and women of the Sekisagumi struggle to maintain order. Each day we fight, and each day our strength is shorn further. The enemy, it shames me to say, completely has our measure. I shall speak plain. We are in desperate need of aid, and I beseech you to lend your katana to our cause. As Master Musosai's last pupil, your skills would help us to turn the rising tide. I know full well that I ask much of you. To journey halfway across the world and involve yourself in a struggle not your own. Yet ask I must. For should the Bakufu fall, the realm would be plunged into chaos, and innocent people would be subjected to untold suffering. With all my being, I pray that you will answer our call, and ere long we shall meet again in Kugane. Sincerely yours, Makoto. XOXO. Musosai's first and final pupils pitted against each other. Certainly poetry in that, and you can take comfort in the knowledge that you'd be fighting on the side of justice. As Makoto writes it though, it's a lot to ask, and the decision is yours to make. But for my unsolicited opinion, I reckon you should do it. For the old man, if for no one else. Liberal. Of course, yeah, it's
A samurai? But yours is not a familiar face. Makoto's foreign guest, I take it. My apologies, but she's not on hand to receive you. She's presently leading a mission to Sakuzuki, where insurgent leaders are meeting in secret. However, they are late to return, and I must confess that I grow worried. I would go and find them myself, but I cannot well abandon my post. Might I ask you to go in my stead? Sure. Where the fuck is that? Oh, okay. I look forward to doing the Beast Society quest things in Shadowbringers because I'll have never actually done them. I barely cleared Shadowbringers MSQ when I stopped playing on my old character. But I didn't really do... I think I did some of the first Society. I didn't really do any of the other two. Oh no, I did a little bit. I did a little bit with the second combat one. Thinking about it. I didn't do any of the crafter gatherer ones. We have to stop mutating this. How do I samurai again? It's good. Who's the dead guy? The Kami. It's really you. Know not how to thank you. We caught wind of a secret insurgent meeting and came here hoping to learn something of their plans. They were the other, but they were the ones who knew of ours. They were expecting us and had laid a trap before we knew what had happened. We Hingans live by a rigid caste system, wherein one's standing in society is inherited rather than earned. My comrade, he hailed from a poor farming village. His family grew scarcely enough to pay their lord his dues. It was all they could do not to starve. In order to escape the shackles of his birth, he sought a new life in Kugane, a more progressive district where a man may yet rise above his station. He became a samurai in the hopes that he might one day have the power to bring about change. Change to an irrational system that holds people hostage to their birth. Souls such as him make up the Sekisugumi, those raised with a plough in hand and not a blade. You'll find none among us born into a samurai family. Ours is a ragtag band gathered from the lower rungs of society. Yet for our desperate origins, we are patriots all. Ugetsu and his cohorts too claim to be patriots. In order to bring about their change, they would as soon see our nation razed to the ground. As with any nation, Hingashi is not free of problems, far from it. But should the Bakufu be toppled, the great lords would rise against each other in a bid for power. The realm would be transformed into a battlefield.
another age of blood would begin. If we are to prevent this, if we are to protect the peace, Uematsu must not be allowed to succeed, no matter the cost. Forgive me. Now's not the time to hold forth on my passions. I shall bear my comrade back to the barracks. Pray, join me there. Okay. I mean, to be fair, I'm actually not that far from the teleport. Or the world. Map transition. The enemy should know our plans. The loss of a comrade pains us. We are grateful for Makoto's preservation. She's told me all. As Master Musosai's pupil, your blade would be most welcome in these dire times. Pray, allow me to confirm your intent. By your coming to Kugane, may we take it to mean that you will aid us in our fight? From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Our cause is much bolstered for your blade. Without further ado, I should introduce you to our captain. However, there is one thing I must ask of you. Pray, keep the fact that you are Master Musosai's pupil to yourself. It may make little sense to you, but what you shared, that you shared a master with a wanted criminal would mark you out for suspicion. That's simply the way of it in our culture. Lieutenant Shiden alone knows the truth and understands, but few are as open-minded as him. It occurs to me I've yet to introduce myself. As Makoto says, I am Shiden, Lieutenant of the Sekisagumi, and may I apologize for our order's penchant for procedure. When I sent you to find Makoto in my stead, I could not leave my post due to a prior duty, tending to the whims of a visiting dignitary. Pressing business, as you'll no doubt appreciate. Now, if you'll wait just a moment, I'll bring Captain Kongo hither. May I present to you Afterbun, who has journeyed from faraway Eorzean to aid our cause. Though she is not of our land, I have witnessed her skill at arms firsthand, and have every confidence she'll prove an invaluable ally. Captain? You would have us trust our lives to an outsider? For all we know, she's one of Uematsu's, or even an imperial spy. Captain, please. After's a good woman and true. I personally vouch for her identity, and shall assume all responsibility for her actions. Should her origin give you cause to doubt, you do well to doubt us all. The sons and daughters of nameless farmers and labourers, and the Kami knows what else. Very well, but mark my words, outsider. A single misstep, and I will cut you down. Forgive the captain. He holds himself responsible for all our losses, and we fight a losing battle. In spite of our best efforts, we're no closer to ascertaining Uematsu's whereabouts, nor do we know the full extent of his operations. And in light of the recent ambush, I fear there is a breach in our security. As if we had not problems enough, His Excellency the Tyro, one of our nation's most powerful men, has chosen this juncture to come to Kugane on an embassy visit. Uematsu will surely look to wreak further chaos, and it falls to the Sekisagumi to keep our honoured guests hale and whole. We'll be out in force providing security, and I pray that we can rely on your blade as well. I too must beg your forgiveness for the captain's outburst. With naught to show for our efforts, he grows ever more irritable. Now then, I must return to my duties. We have no tasks for you at present, but in case of an emergency, pray, remain near and with your katana near at hand. After it's terrible. Captain Kongo, he's committed seppuku. He wished to atone for his failure to catch Ugetsu and all the casualties we've incurred, so he wrote in the letter they found next to his body. With His Excellency the Tyro soon to arrive in Kugane, all's in chaos. We haven't even had the chance to hold funeral rites. It's all Shinden can do to keep our order functioning. Yet function we must, for the Tyro is likely to be targeted by Ugetsu and his cohorts. As part of the security detail, I'm tasked with patrolling the short pier area. I should be grateful for your extra pair of eyes after. I'm in your debt. If aught strikes you as suspicious, I ask that you notify me at once. Which one is the short pier? Okay. The one that isn't Pier 1. Understood. Oh. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Catch sight of a quaint charm. Through the boat works. Oh wait, she's right here. I thought I was going to have to go back to the barracks. There you are. Did you observe aught suspicious? A charm. And it's stained with blood. But where have I seen it before? It was the captain's, wasn't it? This belonged to Captain Kongo. There's no mistake. It ever adorned his neck. How did it come to be at the docks? Did you actually see his body? No, I myself did not see it. Could it be 'twas but a ruse? That the captain did not kill himself, but was rather slain by insurgents? Kami preserve. If this is true, it would mean the enemy walks among us. We must notify Shiden at once and have him bolster security around the Tyro. To the Thavnarian Consulate. Why isn't the lieutenant here? What is he doing? What's he doing? Come now. Surely you know of His Excellency the Tyro's predilection. You mean the rumors were true? It's whispered that the Tyro is wont to indulge his voracious appetite for pleasure houses under the guise of official duty. If this is the case, then he'll be in Sanjo Hanamachi, and so too will Shiden. Let us hurry. Pleasure houses, you say? I wasn't aware that Kugane had such places. Shiden, what are you doing? It's him. He's the problem, it's him. You two, why are you not at the docks? I was given to understand the Tyro is come not on official but personal business. Aye, that he is. But that's none of your concern. At any rate, I have the area well covered. You may return to your stations. Shiden, wait. There's no danger here. Why was your katana drawn? You're too clever by half. More's the pity we failed to finish you off at Sakazuki. Your foreign friend was supposed to die then as well. But we underestimated Musosai's pupil. How could you, Shiden? The captain was your friend! Let me tell you a tale. I was born in a farming village and grew up in squalor. Our liege lord was a tyrant, one who wrung us peasants for everything we had. None dared to rise up for fear of their lives. My parents, pushed to the brink of survival, mustered the courage to speak out. For their troubles, they were promptly arrested. It did not end there. Nay, our lord wished to make an example, so he had them burned alive before the gathered villagers. Through gritted teeth I watched my mother and father die, powerless to help. In that moment I vowed to myself that one day I would change all that is wrong with the world. I took up the katana and trained like a man possessed, and eventually won a place in the Sekisugumi. In the beginning, I was overjoyed. Finally, I could make a difference. But reality could not be more different. And ere long, I came to see the Sekisugumi for what it was. A tool of the powers that be. Glorified guardsmen who patrolled the streets for petty criminals. Samurai. Justice. These things are naught but hollow ideals. They can change nothing. This I realized to my despair. But then I met Lord Uematsu, and he awakened to me the truth that in order to bring about true change, we must bring down the Bakufu. We must tear down the establishment and dig it up from its rotted roots. You are my comrade, and I feel your pain, but Ugetsu's path leads only to death and destruction. Countless people would be made to suffer. No more than what we adorned in our village. There is no hope for Hingashi but to be reborn in the fires of conflict. This is madness! I'll not allow your twisted vision to be realized. Then it seems we must cross blades. But are you certain you wish to do so here, when an unwitting passerby could come to harm? It wouldn't reflect well on the Sekisugumi, I know. Let us take this to Matsuba Square. The others are out on security detail. There will be none to disturb us. I knew that we needed to be rid of you. Sky Scream? A hell of a name, my guy. What are the positionals again? That's the rear. That's flank. Not that it particularly matters if he's going to aggro on me. Okay. He had friends. His friends hurt. His friends hurt. Pongo? He's not dead? Give me my delay. Took some while to gather what troops I could or some shit. There are traitors in our midst. The lieutenant is among them. Aye, I know. It was he who tried to kill me. That was Shiden too? Aren't you a tough old bastard? Why, Shiden? I trusted you. To change Hingashi, why else? The earnest and true Shiden of old is no more. We deal with the traitors. Have care and remember, we are Sekisugumi. Our blades stand for peace. Sorry, was that supposed to catch me? I lose. It's over, Shiden. Over. Nay, Conquer. This is only the beginning. Long live Lord Ugetsu. Farewell, old friend. May we meet again in the next life. Captain, thank the Kami you're safe. Will you tell us what happened? I will, but first there is something I must do. For your timely intervention I give you my thanks, and for my earlier discourtesy I beg your forgiveness. Allow me to thank you also. Were you not on hand, there's no telling what might have come to pass. With me gone, Shiden would have had free reign. He was the last any of us would have suspected. Aye. When he told us that you had committed seppuku, none thought to question it. No, sorry. Ha! A convenient lie, but a poor one. Any who know me well would know that I would not take my leave ere I had dealt with the insurgents. To do so would be the greater shame by far. Now then, let me recount to you my tale. Late at night, Shiden summoned me to the docks to discuss an urgent matter. As I approached him, the wretch slashed out at me without warning. Though I couldn't react in time to dodge the blade, for a blessing it caught my charm, sparing me a fatal wound. My momentum sent me over the docks and into the sea, where I remained until it was safe to resurface. My lungs were ripe to burst when Shiden finally left. Such an ordeal that must have been. Having learned that there were traitors beside Shiden, I kept to the shadows and watched their movements. And the rest you know. With the Tyro safe and the traitors dealt with, we may return to the barracks. Let us continue our conversation there. My thanks again for your help. Oh, I think there was a quicker way for me to have gotten here. Whoops. What level was this? Was this the... yeah, the 65. You journeyed here from a distant land in order to lend your strength to our beleaguered order. I drew my blade upon you. As it turned out, 'twas those whom I thought I knew and trusted that betrayed me. Suffice it to say, I feel a right fool. Now we've succeeded in rooting out all the traitors in our ranks. That we have, and from those we caught, we were able to wring out some key details of their operation. Shiden had been seducing our men over to Uegetsu's side. Those who proved unamenable to his advances were killed, like our comrade in the recent mission. It makes my blood boil to think that those most loyal among us were struck down by treachery. What of Uegetsu's whereabouts? It appears he makes his base on the mainland, somewhere in Yongshan, but the precise location still eludes us. Forgive me if I speak out of turn, Captain. Even as we laid our lives on the line, the Tyro went about satisfying his urges. Can we truly say that we protected the peace this day? Well do I understand your frustration. Yet for his many vices, there is no denying the instrumental role the Tyro plays in keeping the realm whole. Ever are the great lords watching for a fracture to form, by which they might break the status quo and usurp power. Through skillful intercession and manipulation, the Tyro keeps each of them in check. It is no secret that Bakufu is a cesspool of corruption. In spite of this, we must protect the peace. Such is a samurai's calling. Though you come to us from afar, you share this calling with us. I pray that we can continue relying upon your blade and make Ijin a samurai friend. Allow me to add my voice to the captain's. You're a stalwart ally to our cause and a samurai true. Master Musosai was not mistaken in choosing you. Great tidings after. We've ascertained the location of Uegetsu's whereabouts. Hideout, rather. Captain Kongo has the details. A moment. After. You are welcome. We scoured Shiden's quarters. What what should turn up among his possessions but missives he received from Uematsu. They point to a certain ruin in Yangsha. Now, word of Shiden's demise will have already reached Uematsu, and he must assume that we'll track him down ere long. But he will not, cannot run. To do so after losing his right-hand man would cost him much of the momentum he's painstakingly gained. As I see it, two choices remain to Uematsu. He'll await our coming, or bring the fight to us. Either way, the stakes are high. As you know, Uematsu is a peerless swordsman. Only you, who bested Shiden, and perhaps myself, could stand a chance against him. As captain, my place is here at the barracks. While I hold the fort, I bid you and Makoto journey to Yangsha, there to hunt down Uematsu. I shall pray for your safety and success. If instead the rogue should show himself here, rest assured I'll give him a rousing welcome. Yangsha lies upon the mainland across the Ruby Sea. We'll first make for Namai, a small mountain village, and thence go after Uematsu and his cohorts. I know it well. The ruin serving as Uematsu's hideout is near. I'll scout on ahead. Meanwhile, pray, scour the area for insurgents and tend to them. Wonder if I'm gonna have to fight something. Oh my god, who could have guessed? Fucking skews you. This is what meditate looks like. Now back to Makoto. Oh, you found one as well. Getsu's nowhere to be seen. And that means... Aye, he's on his way to Kagane. Pay your captain a visit. I mean, preserve. We must hurry back. We've no time to waste after. Let us hurry back to Kugane. Oh, okay. So we can treat her as a fast travel. That's kind of nice. Ugetsu looking kind of hot. No!
Give me. I was too weak. And now, there's strawberry jam leaking out my mouth. The Seki Tsugumi. It was now. You must finish.
Well, well. For a moment, I doubted my eyes, but it really is you, Kagetsu. I hadn't expected to see you in a Seki Tsugumi uniform, dear sister. That stance. Yes, the very picture of Master himself. So, you are Musosai's final pupil, and the samurai who felled Shiden. We meet at last. Ugetsu, at your service. Like you, I trained under Musosai, and like you, I was made to walk his absurd path. We're practically brother and sister. It's a shame, then, that we stand on opposite sides. Hingashi has known peace for too long. Her leaders have grown soft, and they spend their days in decadence. Their existence is a blight, one that must be burned out with the fires of revolution. To kindle this fire, I bade Shiden assassinate the Taro, but thanks to you and yours, the attempt ended in miserable failure. Till now, we've kept to the shadows, but that time is past. No few people share our vision, and by bringing them into the fold, we shall have the strength to face the Bakufu openly and defeat it. Removing your captain was the first step in this endeavor. With him gone, the good men and women of the Seki Tsugumi may choose with their hearts. If there are any souls here who would join our cause, we welcome you with open arms. The offer stands for you too, Kagetsu, my sister pupil. Will you not create a new world with me? Create? You can create naught with the edge of a blade. Nay, what you seek to do is destroy. Should the Bakufu fall, Hingashi would be plunged into another age of blood. Blood will flow, aye, but it will serve to nourish and strengthen a new nation, one that is free of the corruption that tainted the old. What we have now is not peace, but stagnance. Hingashi has become a morass of decay, and we samurai must be the tsunami that washes it clean to make way for true peace. A samurai fights to ward off chaos, not create it. Have you forgotten Master Musosai's teachings? Clearly, my breath is wasted on you. But what of the others? Will you remain mindless slaves to the Bakufu? Or will you join me and bring about true change? Disappointing. I'd hoped some of you would see sense. But if we must fight, then so be it. I have no desire to spill blood needlessly. Let us settle this away from the masses, on the Isle of Beko, your people against mine. Though, if I may make an observation, it seems you may want for blades, dear sister, now that your men are aware of our connection. Hear me, my comrades. As leader of the first squad, I've been chosen to carry on Captain Kongu's legacy. The battle against Ugetsu promises to be bloody, but come what may, we must prevail. The future of Hingashi rests upon us. Forgive me, but it's all true. Ugetsu is my older brother, and Kagetsu is my birth name, though I have long cast it aside. We were born into a samurai family in the capital, Bukyo. From a tender age, Ugetsu showed tremendous talent as a swordsman, and everyone knew him as a child prodigy. But to me, he was always the kind and caring brother. I was proud of him. Couldn't have been prouder when the legendary Musosai took him as a pupil. Then he took to the road for his training, and I never saw him again. It was a different man who returned. Instead of easy smiles, he wore frowns. Instead of good-natured quipping, he engaged in heated tirades directed at the Bakufu and the Great Lords. There was so much anger, but more than that, there was despair. Despair for his country. Not long thereafter, he parted ways with Master Musosai and began instructing me in the katana. As far as back then, I believe he harbored the dream of toppling the Bakufu, and so he instilled in me the skills to survive in a war-ravaged world. In time, I came into my own as a samurai. And then it happened. My brother assassinated high-ranking officers of the Bakufu. Our family was made to pay the price. Our line was ordered wiped from existence. My parents were summarily executed. It was only by chance that I escaped their fate. Out on the streets and without a home, I journeyed to Kugane. I adopted the name Makoto and knocked on the Sekisagumi doors, with but one purpose in my mind: punishing Ugetsu. We may share the same blood, but I can never forgive him, for our parents' blood is on his hands. For all my determination, I am no match for my brother, and while his cause grows in strength, mine only weakens. In our culture, people are defined first by their birth, and the revelation that I am kin to Ugetsu has shaken my men's faith in me. They may not accept my authority, even though the captain willed it.
And with him gone, there is naught I may depend upon save mine own conviction. And you. Even should it cost me my life, I swear to end my brother's ambition. I pray you will stand with me through this trying time. After my fears become reality, members of the Sekisugumi are deserting one after another. Finding out that I am Ugetsu's sister, and you, Musosai's pupil, has shattered their faith in our cause. With so many gone, we haven't the strength to face the insurgents. We have to convince them to return somehow. There's no two ways about my connection to Ugetsu. But if we can dispel the stigma surrounding Master Musosai at least, they may yet have a change of heart. I require but a chance to speak my piece. But will you help me round up our disillusioned comrades? I'll look around the barracks in the north side of town. If you could focus your search on the south? They say you bested the lieutenant, but I'll be damned if you didn't use dirty tricks you learned from the craven Musosai. The captain calls. It's the insurgent sister right now. Might as well see what sort of lame excuse she's got in store. You're a bit of a cunt, aren't you? What do you want, Ijin? I have nothing to say to the likes of you. The captain desires a chance to explain. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to hear them out. Oh wait, no. Babyface. Look, it's not like I mistrust you and the captain, it's just I can't work up the will to fight anymore. She wants to talk, does she? Well, I doubt anything she says will change my mind, but go along with it for now. Thanks for your help, after. Let's begin before they change their minds. Hear me, my comrades. In our nation, Musosai is a name that evokes loathing. All know that his were the hands that created the monster Ugetsu, and all know that he evaded responsibility for fear of death. But naught could be further from the truth, for Musosai ever taught that the samurai's calling is to preserve order. However, Ugetsu seeks to do the very opposite. In bringing down the Bakufu, he means to usher in such chaos as to trigger another age of blood. Ugetsu may have trained under Musosai, but he was no true pupil of his. Nay, his true pupil stands before you now, and she, like her master did, wields her katana to protect the peace. Protect the peace, you like to say. But what did Musosai ever do to protect the peace? Can you tell us that? I would ask the same question. All we know is that he challenged warriors the realm over and never was once defeated. An impressive feat, to be sure. It's neither here nor there. It takes strength to protect the peace. As we strive to hone our skills through rigorous training, Musosai honed his through duels. He brought evildoers to account as Kogarashi. Wait a second. The Kogarashi, the mystery samurai who roamed the land, smiting the wicked when I was little. The man who protected the weak and punished common crooks and great lords alike before vanishing like the wind. It was Musosai all along? I became a samurai because of him. Me too. Kogarashi was my hero. I wanted to change the world like him. Looking back, it was when first I heard tell of Kogarashi, the desire to take up the katana took root in my heart. I had known that Master Musosai journeyed the land with my brother, but to think that he did so as Kogarashi. Could the experience have pushed Ugetsu to his extreme beliefs? Very well, Captain. We were wrong about Musosai. What have you to say for yourself? That's right. We haven't forgotten about that. Your brother's the bastard what's trying to tear down our nation. How can we trust you? Because she's not her brother? Enough. I've been biting my tongue, but I can't stand it anymore. Hello there. Fancy seeing me here, I shouldn't doubt. The idea occurred to me to visit Musosai's homeland, you see, and you know how spontaneous I can be. But what do I find upon arriving but this painful display of narrow-mindedness? The old man would be turning in his grave. Who the hells are you? Who I am doesn't matter. What matters is what I did. That was to journey with After and Musosai on a quest to right wrongs. We've established that you all respect and admire Musosai, who happens to be your childhood hero, Kogarashi. Well then, you should know that he used to always say about his own countrymen, you're so focused on a person's birth, you blind yourself to his true worth. It's so bleeding obvious, I can't believe I have to say this, but having a villain for a brother doesn't make Makoto a villain. In spite of their relationship, she opposes him, for God's sake. Now look at yourselves. None of you were born into samurai families, but through hard work you've made it this far. Become who you wanted to be. What Makoto has done is no different. Like you, she's broken free of the shackles of her birth to live a life of her own choosing. Kami, why could I not see this? After all we've been through together as comrades. You're right. How many times have I had to put up with scorn because I came from a poor village? But there I was, dealing that scorn to the captain. Strike me down for a fool. I've always despised this aspect of our culture, yet all this time I remained its unwitting prisoner. Come, my friends. Let us bring back those of us who are still at large. We have a battle to win and peace to protect. You're the gentleman from the inn in Uldar. I owe you a debt of gratitude. Oh, don't mention it. I'm a showmaster by trade and words are my domain. Swords, not so much. So I'll bow out here. Ooh, I think I'll go and take a dip in one of these hot springs I've heard so much about. The rest I leave in your capable hands. Put a stop to Ugetsu and give the old man the peace he deserves. The appointed hour is nigh. Let's make for the field of battle.
The Isle of Becco. Oh yeah, the Isle of Becco. Right. Hamamizu! All wayward members are returned, and all with their resolve restored. Let us go and face Ugetsu. Will this false peace continue? Or will the fires of true change sweep across the land? Today we decide Hingashi's history. Today we decide whose path is right. Usosai's or mine. There is but one among you worthy of being my opponent. She who trained under mine own master. Come, after. Show me the strength of your conviction. Let us fight, pupil to pupil. Oh yeah, I should be doing the Slayer of the Hound Soul. Okay. You've got actual mechanics. Granted, they're not difficult ones, but still. Got him.
Why? Why do you stay your blade? It is over. The heavens have chosen. Strike me down. Samurai must be decisive. Finish me, or I shall finish you. Good. You've grown strong, little sister. Come, my friends. Let us return to the barracks. That was actually quite easy. We've succeeded in quelling a major threat to the nation. It was in no small part due to you. You've my eternal gratitude. While not all insurgents are accounted for, without a leader to unite them, they will eventually scatter to the winds. As for me, my appointment as captain of the Sekisugumi has since been made official. It is a heavy burden. I swear to bear it with honour and live up to Captain Konku's faith in me. Meanwhile, the revelation of Kogurashi's true identity has been doing its rounds of our order. It would seem that nigh all of our younger members idolized him and joined out of the desire to make a difference. In embarking upon his quest, I believe Master Musosai in part wished to sow the seeds of a new generation. Ugetsu sought the quick path to change and cared not what it was, that it was fraught with strife and suffering. He saw Hingashi as a dilapidated house fit only to be torn down. Master Musosai sought to restore this house board by board, nail by nail, one injustice at a time, even should it take several lifetimes. To ensure that his legacy lives on, I will embark upon my own quest of change here in Kugane, and I pray that you will do the same, no matter where your road takes you. Thank you, Neo. Sam, I am. That gives me access to this, which I honestly don't really know where to put. Sure, it can go there. Does this show up? No. Okay. What is this katana? Ooh. That actually is quite a nice looking katana. Even just for the base. Wait, my bad. Okay. I mean, I kind of wish that the helmet showed up, but of course it wouldn't on a Viera. That's cool. We got another weapon to turn into a relic. Oh yeah, that's something that I should do, isn't it? Since we now have all of the anima relics, and I have all of the anima lux, the replicas for the anima lux. I can discard all of the relics, because it's really it annoys me that you can't store the relics in your armory. Like, I feel like if you've gone to that amount of effort, you should be able to do that. The only thing that does is it means that you wouldn't need a replica for the completed version of it, because you're storing the completed version in your armoire. And that would be kind of just nice, but it is what it is. But yeah, so we've got Paladin, we've got Warrior, we've got Dark Knight because I'm using it. Gunbreaker doesn't have one. We've got it for White Mage, we've got it for Scholar, got it for Astro, got it for Monk, though I don't like it. Got it for Dragoon, but I don't really like it. We've got it for Ninja, but I don't really like it. We've got it for Archer, and I do like it. We've got it for Machinist, and I do like it. Got it for Black Mage. This is me just double checking that I've got all of the things before I, yeah, we do, before I throw them away, just in case. Bye bye. I need to fill. I need to make room for all of the Eureka antiquated weapons. Because the only one that I actually need in my inventory or my armory chest is the Red Mage one. Okay, I think that's good. And now those... I didn't mean to equip that. Apparently equipped the other one too. There we go.
That gets them in here, just that then they're not clogging anything up, which is nice. Okay. Well, I am not going to have time to do anything else today. So I'm going to call it there rather than try and squeeze anything else in. But I feel like we've done some good stuff, so we might, toward the end of the day tomorrow, do a Baldessian Arsenal clear, which means that I need to prep for a potential Baldessian Arsenal clear. If I do one, I will probably maybe do it as a healer instead of as a DPS, but we will see. Mainly just because healer is simpler, and the Logos action loadouts for healer I think are the simplest. But I need to look into that some more. But yeah, so we might do that tomorrow. If not, there's probably one next week. I don't know when the next one is. But we finished off the Kojin, which is good, so I now only need to do the Ananta and the other one, Namazu. But we're nearly done with those. We'll be done with those next week. Next week, we will probably either get some more job quests done, or we will finally unlock the Alliance raids or the normal raids and try and run through those. Because I do want to do them. Like the Alliance raids, I've only done the first two. I've never done Orbon Monastery. Similar to how I had never done Dunskaith before doing this character. So that should be interesting. I think I've only done the Lighthouse, the second Alliance raid of Stormblood. I think I've only done that like maybe twice. Maybe twice. I remember there's a maths mechanic which I didn't understand at the time. There's that to look forward to. And then Omega, the normal raids, I've done most, but not all of. But I do want to do all of Omega, because once you've cleared all of the normal raids, potentially clearing the last one, Savage, as well, you can then unlock the ultimate raids. And I really want to do the ultimate raids. But the ultimate raids are going to be difficult. They're going to be very, very difficult. So it's unlikely that that's going to be done anytime soon. I would probably benefit from finding a static. Well, maybe not even a static, but finding a group to do the ultimates with. Anyway, I'm babbling. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Have a good one. Later.